your best to not fall apart over it. You know, like after Very Important House got canned, and that was like incredibly bad. Like that whole process was. I've talked to other people, and they're like, I've never heard anything go so badly as that.
Yeah.
But I had like a mild nervous breakdown. Like it really fucked me up because Disney only moments prior had told us that it was definitely greenlit. And then
fucking God.
No.
And then Jonah and I were at fucking Cirque du Soleil, and we're standing outside, and we got free tickets, and we were so excited because his friend was in it, and we were like, oh my God, we're gonna go see Cirque du Soleil, and we're standing in the parking lot, and then we got a call from Disney, and they're like, Very Important House is dead, and then I cried through Cirque du Soleil while clowns are performing, and I'm like,
oh no! I can that's like a movie moment.
That's such a movie moment.
You
That's
just
so
hear like
crazy.
slow motion circus music, like.
There was like a little, like one of those like little, like confetti like going over your face and stuff. And
Oh
you're, like,
God,
partying and you're just like crying.
yeah. I felt like I was
I'm
constantly
so
like,
sorry.
no, I was like this weird dance between acknowledging the talent of the performance and also
Yeah.
being like so distraught. It was just so weird. I'd be like, oh my God, that contortionist is so incredible. But I was like, fine, just Froley, like it was so rough.
Wow.
Jeez.
And I don't know if Johnen mentioned this, but like, Disney made it so we had no access. We have no access to Very Important House. They set a buyback, but yeah, it was crazy. Very Important House was hard, and it's really sweet. People are like, you should try to get it back, and it's like, you don't even know like what that takes, or
No, I have no idea.
It's unbelievable.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I think sometimes like as artists, like, and that's why I was talking a little bit about business, is that sometimes we don't really realize how colossal the companies are, because we're talking about companies like Disney owns Marvel. And what's the other?
They own everything. They own Star Wars.
They own everything. They own Star Wars.
They own Fox.
And Star Wars and Marvel and Fox. And it's like, at this point, you're talking about a company who has the means to
more wealth than you can ever comprehend.
Exactly. Which can be really great if you end up like vibing and getting a show with them, but can be like, like business is rough.
Yeah, it is really, really. I mean, I do think it's important to tell people. It's like, remember, you're getting in bed with a giant. Like you are trying to get a company to invest millions of dollars in you in the hopes that that investment will pay off for them. Like, that is the whole exchange. They don't necessarily respect your art, and they're not making art for art's sake. Like, that's not the point. It's a business.
So we went to a place here, Daikokuya, a ramen place. It's so good.
Everyone loves Daikokuya.
Yeah. We went to the one in Monterey Park because I didn't want to wait in line.
Yeah, that line is brutal.
Tokyo one. Fuck that. The drive to the Monterey Park one is shorter than the wait for the little Tokyo one, and it's great. You just walk in, you have ramen.
Totally.
And so we went there, and we're eating, and she was still doing the whole like, help me come up with ideas, and I would just try to be as annoying as possible in hopes that she would go, all right, you know what? I got to come up with my own idea.
I like that you took this really long detour. Like, you don't want to wait in line for Daikokuya, but you are willing to throw a bunch of shitty ideas at her.
Yes.
Bully her.
Yes. Yeah, so we're sitting there, we're waiting for our ramen to show up, and I'm like, oh, what about it's a little girl, and she has to make like the ultimate bowl of ramen. Yeah, she has to make the ultimate bowl of ramen for aliens that are invading the planet, and if she doesn't make the ultimate bowl of ramen, that's going to impress them so much that they'll think, hey, Earth is pretty cool because they make good ramen. That they'll destroy the Earth, and then immediately, I was like, wait a minute. And by the time we left that restaurant, Very Important House was pretty much fully formed.
That's nuts.
It was about a little girl that didn't have to, it wasn't just about a girl that had to make ramen for aliens. It was just like, that was just one story. It was about a little girl who had just all this responsibility doing stuff for not just, the people of her own planet, but, she lived in this house, and whoever lived in this house, basically, it was the most important house in all of existence, and it was where people came to have their problems solved. And didn't even matter what the problems were. And I just thought it was really funny if a little girl would be called upon to end a war on an alien planet.
Yeah.
And she's like, what am I gonna do? I'm what the hell? And it just turned into Very Important House.
Yeah.
And then I was kind of trapped. I was like, okay, now I love this. Now I think this is really funny, and I think it's cool, and
maybe this was Jenny's plan all along, was to get you to work through all your back.
Yeah, she played me.
Yeah, she played you.
And the plan was always to, I was going to be, sort of the world builder, and Jenny, but with Jenny's major input, every idea I had was what could I put Jenny in? The little character was so much of Jenny and things that Jenny liked, but with my, I was definitely a personality in that world. And then the character ended up taking on more and more of our own, my traits and Jenny's traits. And it was just fun. It was fun to go back and forth and come up with ideas until it just seemed like we knew pretty much from the time that we were driving away, we should pitch this. This is fun. And then it went to shit. The end. That's pretty much the story.
Yeah. Well, that's development.
Yeah. That took so fucking long. It was such a awful, just drawn out process. If it was 1 or 2 years of our lives, it would have been well, that sucked. But it was 1, 2, 3, 4 years of just. By the end, it was just just kill us.
Yeah.
Just let us go. This isn't. The unfortunate thing is, when they, instead of just saying no thanks, they bought it and then said no thanks. So they basically kept us from being able to do it anywhere else. It's part of that machine.
That's the shadiest shit.
It's perfected. It's the machine perfected.
Yeah.
It's we're not going to let you go off and potentially make something that maybe will become something we regret losing. So we're going to buy it, and you don't have any rights to develop it anymore anywhere
That's so
else.
Incredibly toxic.
But it's common. It's so common.
It's incredibly common.
Right.
Yeah.
There's nothing about that process that is friendly for an artist. The concern isn't hey, we don't think we are the right people to make this thing that maybe could be cool for the universe.
They don't care about that.
So go and good luck. No, it's all about, we don't want to risk regretting losing this thing.
Oh, man.
So it is now ours.
Yeah.
And that is ultimately heartbreaking. It doesn't have to be like that, but
yeah,
it just becomes about not losing potential dollars. It's money, and it's disgusting, and there's nothing creative and artistic about that side of, of ultimately what it is. It's just a business,
If at the very least they would buy it out, because scripts, I know studios will do that with ideas where they buy a screenplay and they'll give you a fat lump sum. And that kind of helps swallow. It's well, if it happens, it happens. But here, I can live on this money for the next year because I wrote this one thing. But that doesn't happen in animation, at least from what I've seen. It's you.
Well, there are buybacks that you can buy stuff. We technically could buy back.
That's the. Oh, I see. Yeah, okay. But it's
most likely with Disney still tagged on as some kind of a partner,
percentage or something.
Right. But our buyback price was nothing I had ever heard from people in similar situations. It was outlandish and kind of impossible for us.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you a question, and it's okay if you're not comfortable answering. You can just. But do you guys have an agent or a lawyer?
Oh yeah.
Okay, and even with that protection, you still got kind of tricked.
mean, it's not even really a trick. I mean, we could have fought to not lose the rights, but that stuff it's just rare. It's an incredibly difficult thing to go into a situation now. Like, no one will ever have the deal that George Lucas had with merchandising. Right. No one will ever have that ever again.
Oh yeah.
I think those things kind of still happen within like new mediums when it's people are caught off guard. You know, I think that like that's why you get like early YouTubers got it good because they were all like at the outset of all this shit. But then, like, even that has been played. And so now everyone's aware of how much money you can make on YouTube. So no one's getting the kind of YouTube money that they could be making. You know, so it's like, it seems like those earlier concepts got lucky. They just straight up got lucky.
Oh, hey, I'm late to the new pages. I love these Frolies.